The committee will come to order. We'd like to thank our witnesses for joining us here today. Our committee has held several hearings this year examining the rise of domestic terrorism. And today's hearing is going to focus on the role of social media platforms and the role that they play in the amplification of domestic extremist content and how that content can translate into, unfortunately, real-world violence. Yesterday marked 3 years since a white supremacist gunman opened fire in a Pittsburgh synagogue, killing 11 innocent people in the deadliest attack on the Jewish community in the United States. The attacker used the fringe social media platform Gab prior to the attack to connect with like-minded extremists and spread his own hateful and anti-Semitic views online. While that violent and hateful ideology has long terrorized communities for many Americans, the shocking attack was the first glimpse at how quickly increased exposure to extremist content and users with similar beliefs can radicalize domestic terrorists and drive them to act on their violent intentions. Less than a year after the Tree of Life attack, we saw white nationalists open fire in an El Paso shopping center. This attacker was one of many who viewed video of the Christchurch mosque massacres that widely circulated on social media just a few months earlier. A video he reportedly cited as inspiration for his deadly attack in a 2,300-word racist manifesto that he also posted online. And on January 6, 2021, we saw a stark example of how individuals went beyond seeing and sharing extreme content across numerous social media platforms. They were spurred to action by what they repeatedly saw online, and ultimately a mob violently attacked Capitol Police and breached the Capitol building. In attack after attack, there are signs that social media platforms played a role in exposing people to increasingly extreme content and even amplifying dangerous content to even more users. Yet there are still many unanswered questions about what role social media platforms play in amplifying extremist content. We need a better understanding of the algorithms that drive what users see on social media platforms, how companies target ads, and how these companies balance content moderation with generating revenue. For the majority of social media users who want to connect with distant family and friends or stay up to date on their favorite topics, there is very little transparency about why they see the content, recommendations, or ads that populate their feeds. And while social companies have promoted how they are providing more curated content for their users, we have seen how users can be shown increasingly polarizing content. In worst-case scenarios, users are reportedly recommending more and more extreme content, nudging them down a dark and dangerous rabbit hole. Recent reporting and congressional testimony and revelations in the Facebook papers have shed some light on business models that appear to prioritize profits over safety, and decisions that appear to disregard the platform's effect on our homeland security. It's simply not enough for companies to pledge that they will get tougher on harmful content. Those pledges have gone largely unfulfilled for several years now. Americans deserve answers, and how the platforms themselves are designed to funnel specific content to certain users, and how that might distort users' views and shape their behavior both online and offline. As part of my efforts to investigate rising domestic terrorism, including the January 6th attack, I've requested information from major social media companies about their practices and policies to address extremist content, so that we can better understand how they are working to tackle this serious threat. And while we're continuing to work with companies to get answers and examine relevant data, I'm looking forward to hearing from our experts today about how these platforms balance safety and business decisions, and specifically how these decisions relate to rising domestic extremism. Ranking Member Portman, you're welcome to start with your opening remarks.